What's going on, Jerome's? Brian Flores is going to inject some aggressiveness and some new life into the Vikings defense that was dead. It has ceased to be last year, where they're bottom of the league in points allowed and 31st in yards. It just was not good. Just watching them be passive, sit back, and whatever. And Brian Flores, he ain't about that life. And he talked to the local media jackals on Wednesday, today, about his thoughts on things, Danielle Hunter, as well as the cornerback competition, plus the importance of football IQ. We'll get into that. So this is what Flores said about Danielle. Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt. Vikings DC, Brian Flores said he has regular conversations with linebacker Danielle Hunter over the past few months. Also, they sat down and met in person yesterday after Hunter reported. Great human being, Flores said of Hunter. Now, obviously, Hunter being in camp is really important because he avoids fines, and also maybe it's a step in the right direction, although it's far from certain what's going to happen. But obviously, Brian Flores is going to love your best defensive player, and ideally would like to keep him, especially since he plays such a premium position of pass rusher. Plus, he's great against the run, great at setting the edge. He really would make life a lot easier for Brian Flores, and frankly, there's a lot of question marks in the edge rusher group behind Danielle Hunter. Now, a lot of potential, yes. I believe in DJ Wonnum, who had 8 sacks in 2021. Patrick Jones has shown flashes. Davenport has shown flashes too, 9 sacks in 2021. But having your best edge rusher in the building, that would be really important. That's what Flores is getting at right there. So I'm glad that he and Danielle have struck up a relationship and a rapport, because I think that what Flores outlines as his vision for Danielle in 2023 could be the difference between Danielle working something out here or being traded somewhere else. Next up, cornerbacks wise, this is what Flores said about the cornerback competition. Cornerback, look, it's going to be a competitive camp. We got a lot of guys who showed well in spring, who did well in meetings, walkthroughs, and our summer practices, and they've come back ready to go. Our first couple of meetings and this walkthrough today have been solid. When you're talking about Murph, when you're talking about Caleb, when you're talking about Booth, Makai, Jawan, it's going to be a competitive camp. And of course, he stressed competition. It's always good, man. But yeah, the Vikings cornerback room, like we said, there was a major change as they lopped off the top 4 corners from last year. Patrick Peterson, Shondon Sullivan, Cameron Tiny Dancer was let go, as well as Duke Shelley, pouring a little out. Still miss him. We'll see him in Vegas. Justin Jefferson. He's going to do bad things to Duke Shelley, man, but it is what it is. So the Vikings basically started over. They brought in Byron Murphy as a free agent. They drafted Mekhi Blackman in the 3rd round. They brought in Joejuan Williams, the former second-round pick out of Vanderbilt. Previously had time with the Patriots. Didn't have any crossover with Flores with the Patriots, but and also they're banking on Evans and Booth, last year's 4th and 2nd round picks respectively, to pan out on some of that potential, even though they both had injury issues last season. So, I mean, there's a lot of question marks, but there's a lot of talent there. Also, Flores loves blitzing his cornerbacks, especially slot corners. So Murphy, Blackman, who's been working in the slot quite a bit with the ones, I mean, they could find themselves with a bunch of pressures and sacks. I mean, who's going to be the next Mike Hilton? Let's go, man. Or Antoine Winfield Sr., as we're accustomed to. Lastly, he was asked about, so Harrison Smith had some high praise for fellow safety Josh Metellus yesterday, and the reporters asked him specifically about Josh Metellus' high football IQ. This is what Flo said. I like to think I had a pretty good football IQ, but I couldn't play. He said that with a laugh. Now, he sounded himself short. I mean, Brian Flores was a solid safety at Boston College. Brooklyn, dude. All that stuff, man. Then he continued, Josh Metellus is talented, and he showed that over the course of his career. He showed that at OTAs. He's a smart player. We have a lot of smart players. Football IQ, it helps you if you want to make checks or adjustments, or like I talked about with defensive football in general. Just being able to put yourself in the most advantageous positions based on what they give you. You need it. But you need guys who can run, who can hit, who can tackle, who can get off blocks. I put more of a premium on those things. And he also said that with a smile. So, I mean, he's just a football guy, especially defensive football guy, and I do love it. And, yeah, football IQ is important, but can you actually do the job? Are you talented enough to get it done at the NFL level? I mean, you want both, but if you're going to pick one, Yeah, we'll see. That's why talent always gets second, third, fourth, and fifth, and 17th chances in the NFL. Football IQ is sort of a dime a dozen, but Josh Metellus does indeed have both, and I think that Flores is envisioning a very unique and very specific role for him this season, as Metellus is in a contract year. He'll be a de facto starter as a third safety, linebacker, joker on the back end. I'm really excited to see go from theory into practice. I want to see him on the field in a game situation in that third safety role. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Brian Flores fed the local media jackals on Wednesday, talking about a handful of things. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts and his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once worth of work, put a little something in the Venmo. But to next time, Skull Production Value.